the name of Allah, Assalamu alaikum. I'm a product of you. That's how I'll start. My name is Fatima, and Mohammed, well, N stands for Nadia. I was brought up in the nation and educated by the nation. And thankfully, it's been a good thing. It's kept me focused and kind of productive. And like we've heard, you have to be on the lookout because it's always something. Always something. And the good thing about it is we, as part of this community, have been aware that it's always something and never relax too much. So that's been the point. Anyway, the topic or the title is Muslim Black Americans in Academia. So because Imam Alfred Mohammed brought this subject up, he invited me to be a part of it. And there's something about once you get to work in institutions of higher education, you feel like, okay, I'm supposed to contribute and add something to the conversation. And so that's kind of how I got to it. I mean, I'm a graduate of Sister Claire Muhammad School, class of 1988.
Last one.
Yeah, so we gotta fix it. We gotta fix it then, right? So being a Muslim from a background like I've had certain. What's going on?
Now he turned it up, and he shouldn't have. Just move that closer to your face.
Oh, like this?
No, put it here. Let's put it here. Just here, I think.
Oh.
Face it towards your mouth.
Oh, okay.
That's much better.
All right. No feedback, thank you. So being from a Muslim background and having life experiences as a Muslim Black American, your position in academia is specifically wrought with issues, struggles, and victories. So in this discussion, Muslim Black Americans like myself and Imam Alfred Mohammed will share some of these stories of our experiences. So we're going to cover any of these 6 areas. How and why did you enter the world of academia? In what years did you enter the world of academia? What did you intend to contribute? What do you believe you contributed? What was the tenure track like for you? And then what do you expect going forward? So that's a whole lot of stuff that happened. But I'm going to talk about what happened with me, and then Imam Alfred Mohammed he's going to phone in and contribute his experiences. So he's in New Jersey and going through a different set of experiences that I've been through. So it's going to help. I believe it'll be information that we'll be able to use. All right, so I'll just start. You heard that I'm a class of 88. And then the other great thing about it was I'm one of the very few people I know with college degrees but no college debts. Ooh, I can't believe it. And the thing is, Brother Clyde Elamine hooked Sister Claire Muhammad School graduates up with state schools, and I wound up getting a scholarship from University of Illinois at Chicago. 4 years. So I just, even when I think about it now, it's like they wanted me. But it was something about the fact that I was Black or African Americans, and I did all right in school. So they let me ride for free through the 4 years. And my major was communications, mass communications and theater.
My oldest child.
Oh yeah.
Same. And she went there on a full academic scholarship.
See? That's a good thing.
Yeah, so I don't owe nothing, not for her.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a real big deal. I got 4 more to go.
That's a wonderful deal. So my major was mass communications and theater. And what I was thinking, because I wanted to produce television, was that, okay, if I'm going to be in the TV market as an industry professional, I'm going to just be there. But then the time demands of working in television, you got to be always available all the time. I didn't feel like that was going to work. So I said, well, what about if I teach? And I transitioned to the university industry, where I'm teaching and then I'm doing what I like. I'm talking about what I like. And so even another big blessing happened when I decided this. About a year after graduating, I applied to Northwestern University. And they gave me a scholarship. So I was extra excited because Northwestern is known as being a spot for media, digital media, and just a good spot because it's in Evanston, but it claims Chicago because, well, Chicago claims it because it's such a good school. You'll wind up having so much support from the alumni, and you'll also wind up being recognized as, you must be kind of smart when you apply to places and you listed as a place where you graduated. So with all that said, I did wind up teaching for about, I want to say 20 years. I've been a college professor. First college was Indiana University at Kokomo, which is an interesting spot. Because when I came out, when I first started teaching there, was when the whole Fahrenheit 9/11 movie produced by Michael Moore came out. It was crazy protests even at the school I was teaching at. They didn't want it to be shown because those Indiana people, I'm not saying all Indiana people, but you know about the middle of it in Kokomo?
Yes.
So they didn't even want that shown. And it was accessed and brought up by students. They wanted to show it. So I was in a different spot because Fahrenheit 9/11 is all based around this attack that happened because Muslims from certain parts of the world attacked the United States with their airplanes and all that. And so me being in that university at that time was extra special. I only stayed a year. Yeah, because something about the Indiana vibe was not right for me. And so my next kind of full-time position was at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. And I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. I met another Muslim Black American in academia. He was in art. He's a very famous artist. He's been up to Chicago a couple of times. I want to say, I only know his last. Well, I know his name, Najar Mujahideen.
Musawir.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Najar Abdul Musawir. All right, so he was working at the same university, but in a different department, in the art department. And it was nice to have some kind of like, okay, this is a good vibe. And it's a wonderful Muslim community in Carbondale too. So I applied for full-time positions, but they didn't ever pick me. I don't know why exactly. I think it has something to do with, well, I don't know why. because I applied for positions that sounded like what I do. I was teaching public speaking, I was teaching radio production, TV production, but I wasn't chosen. So I came back to Chicago, and when Kennedy King College relocated to 63rd, I was there that first year. And I did enjoy it because I liked being able to talk to students that looked like me, and they were interested in learning how to use the media in all the ways that digital stuff came up. Because I came through in the mid-90s when it was just going from video to digital. So I was caught in the middle, and I figured out how to progress and keep up. So I did enjoy that too. I was never hired there to be a full-time professor, so I only stayed a year. So it sounds like I did a lot of moving around, but it wasn't on purpose. It was just because I want to be able to support myself. And thinking about what's going forward now, even in universities all over the country, it's about for-profit stuff. And then it's not really being linked to careers or work. So I want to say something good even going forward though, because the main thing is the point of college education is to be able to develop. And then in developing, you wind up finding what you are really good at and finding a way to make it work and make it pay. So now we can, if we are able to reach Imam Alfred Mohammed, he can tell his side of the story. Oh, well, let me just say this.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
I'm kind of sensing.
Okay.
I kind of sense that you, looking at your journey in a sincere manner, as like you didn't have the control that hindsight you might have wanted to have. But look at what you came through. Yeah. The world has never advanced technological. Like you've experienced more than 1,000 years, generations of human lives coming and going. Yeah. Never even came close to. Man, it blows my mind when I see when I was a kid, everybody was tethered to the wall by a long telephone cord. Now we got this supercomputer in our pocket. All kind of cables winding around the steps. The longer cord you had, the better technology you thought you had. Because I could take my phone in the basement and I can go back upstairs with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing up an excellent point. I didn't want to overlook that.
What's your experience? If I was in your shoes, I wish I could have seen more and done more and had more failures. Because the more failures you have in a time, not even failures. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
but it's more experience that you have in a time that's changing, that has changed in the way that it's changed. I'm like, you've seen more than people have seen in their whole life.
Yeah, I believe you. Yeah. And you're exactly right, because that was a big part. That was kind of one of the areas that's looking at. In what years did you enter? I entered in the middle, on the break. And having to figure out, okay, this is what we used to, but this is what's going to be happening, and we're still learning, and we're still growing, and we're going to keep learning and growing, and charging.
What'd you say?
And charging for it.
Charging.
Oh, charging for it.
You mean charging?
Yeah, earning money for it.
Earning money, yeah.
Because even social media is a big money maker. Right. It's just saying, yeah, these are my friends. It's a whole lot more than that on Facebook, and on YouTube. So it's, just thinking about what YouTube what the idea of, okay, I'm gonna videotape something and I get to look at it later. YouTube is a world of difference. It's a world of difference.
It's a money maker.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, it's interactive, and you can make a network out of any people that you know, anybody's phone numbers. You don't even have to email address. It's just their phone numbers. You can hook up and you'll have a broadcast. So broadcasting is way different than it used to be, because you can broadcast through your cell phone.
Okay, so
Were you able
I'm
to
gonna,
reach
I
it?
got Imam Alfred on the line. So
Okay.
he speaks, he's gonna, you'll be able to hear him, okay? Okay.
All right.
With the power of technology. Okay, but Imam. But Imam Alfred?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the redeemer. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Thanks to Imam Deen Mohammed and his wife, and to all our honorable and noble guests, as well as my colleague, Dr. Fatima Mohammed. I thank her for inviting me. We had planned to do this workshop at the convention, and we will have it at the convention 2018 in North New Jersey, and I hope we'll continue this discussion informally during the Savior's Day. Dr. Fatima has given me a task, and I'm going to stay to the topic. Y'all know, you all that know me know I can go 3 hours. So I'm going to go. Question is, why did you enter the world of the academia? What do you believe you contributed? What do you expect going forward? First and foremost, I was always drawn to problems of solving solving problems of African American life. I never had believed in knowledge for knowledge's sake. Growing up in Lynchburg, Virginia, I was always drawn to the what we call the preacher scholars, or what in Western tradition is called the philosopher king. That is a person that could take that knowledge and then have a rule for the society. So going forth, I attended the University of Wisconsin at Eau Claire and actually dropped out. And it didn't cause me